Now, if you're not aware, Sony have just announced that they're going to be officially releasing the Sony A7C II. Now, for someone that was going to upgrade their old A7C to the new A7 IV, this is perfect timing because the new Sony A7C Mark II is marketed as a more compact Sony A7 IV. What? So we're getting everything that's inside the Sony A7 IV in a smaller body, and it's going to be cheaper? Even the higher resolution rear LCD screen and the OLED viewfinder? Not quite. The rear screen and viewfinder on the A7 II are going to be pretty much the same as the original Sony A7C. Oh, okay. Well, at least we get the little joystick that's on the back of the Sony A7 IV, I guess. Nope. Sony have also decided to leave this as the original A7C and leave it off as well. Oh, okay. Well, at least we got the reassurance that it's going to have 2 SD card slots. Nope. Sony decided to keep this to one single card slot, just like the original A7C, because, just because. Well, at least tell me that they've matched the Sony A7 IV shutter speed of 1/8000th of a second. That's a no again, I'm afraid. They've kept the shutter speed to 1/4000th of a second, which is the same as the previous generation Sony A7C. Well, they must have updated like the maximum photos per second you can take, right? That would be a nope again, I'm afraid. It still remains at 10 photos per second maximum. But they have given us a front dial which should compensate us for the lack of improvement. So what do we actually get that's new on the Sony A7C II? Well, you get a flippy screen, how about that? You mean the flippy screen that was also on the original A7C? Okay then, what about if I was to tell you Sony have given you a USB-C port for faster data transfer? What, you mean the same USB-C port that's on the original A7C? Okay then, what about if Sony puts the new AI subject recognition chip into the A7C II, the one that ain't even in the Sony A7 IV? Yeah, it might f anybody that's just gone out and bought the Sony A7 IV for £2,500, but hey, that's technology advancement, right? Well, at least this time round, Sony will be able to supply an eye-cup with the camera, because I know a lot of people complained about the previous model's eye-cup, the lack of it. I remember that everybody was complaining because they had to go out and buy a third-party product that fitted in the cold shoe mount so you could look through the viewfinder properly. That will be a no again. Sony have decided not to listen to their customer base and supply the A7C Mark II without an eye-cup for the viewfinder. But I guess you don't need an eye-cup if you've got a flippy screen, right? And I'll tell you one thing that Sony have given us over the original A7C, and that is one extra customizable button. Think yourself lucky. Admittedly, Sony have given us the updated menu system that is now available on most of their cameras, but they easily could have updated the older camera systems with the new menu via a firmware update. But updating old cameras with new firmware doesn't sell new cameras. So let me get this right, the new Sony A7C Mark II is almost identical to the previous version of the A7C. It's just been given a new sensor. And how much is this exactly going to cost me? Well, this is available to you, yes you, at the bargain price of £2,349 UK pounds. What a bargain. If you've enjoyed this video, consider subscribing. If you have any thoughts, leave them below in the comment section. But that's it for now. We'll catch up in the next video. Thank you very much for watching.